everything that comes out of our mouth, we manifest it. So if you're sitting there going, I don't look good, this doesn't look right on me, when I go out here into the world, like, you bring the energy. And that's one of the big things that we've been talking about is that we're energy, we're frequencies. React with that person that's next to it.
You know, that's why our traditional views of self-care and the things that we think of doing for ourselves, they're pretty skewed because it's not all bubble baths and bath bombs and facials and things like that. It's showing up for yourself. And so that's why, before we go further, I'm probably already halfway in, but I just want to thank you for being here. Because when we feel overwhelmed and we feel like we're in that drowning state, it can be hard to carve out the time for yourself to even show up here today and be here. So I want you to sit with that just for a moment and reflect on what it means for you to slow down and show up for yourself. What I don't want you to do in this time when it gets quiet is to think about all the things that you need to be doing or should be doing or whatever. You give enough time to that voice throughout the day. But let this be a genuine moment of gratitude for yourself. And let that be the seed of self-love that you keep with you.
But here's the thing, nothing in my life was ever going to change unless I turned that mirror around and said, Tina, how are you going to change? How are you going to adapt to this? What does this mean to you? And what do you own in this? I live every single day from joy. And it's not because anything's perfect. It's because I choose the energy that I get to show up in every single day. And I get to be the mom that she deserves. I get to be the wife that my husband deserves. I get to create the life that I always envisioned that I wanted to create. But when we're sleeping, and I know that you all have clients like this, when we're sleeping, we don't see it. My role is to wake people up. I love transformation coaching. At the Reset Retreat, we're going to go deep. I'm going to ask you questions that are going to make you uncomfortable. I'm going to love you so hard, it's going to get uncomfortable. Until we get uncomfortable, we're not going to find the reasons that are holding us back. We're not going to see them because it's too easy to pretend not to know. It's the easy way out. And so how you show up matters.
When we grow up, everybody's telling us, don't do this, don't say that, don't feel this, don't be this, don't act like this. And every time somebody does that, when you're from here or even in your previous life to here, you tuck it away. What I call the invisible backpack. You don't see it, you don't have to deal with it. But I promise you, 100%, every single thing is there.
Our phones constantly pull our attention, and when we want to focus, that's exactly what the technology eliminates. It's like if focusing is a muscle, technology causes that muscle to. So if we're stressed, if we're anxious, and this happens with kids that don't know any better, you say, well, let me just watch TikTok. And this video will keep my attention, keep me focused. I don't have to do any focusing myself. Then they start to begin to build a dependency on that. That content makes a dopamine spike in them, and which is like a biochemical that then their body starts to get accustomed to and addicted to. So first step is taking a break from technology.
There are times where you have to say, this is my path, and not everybody is going to understand every part of it. But if we can just get them to understand where I'm coming from and what I need. So the other thing that makes me this, unique person going out into the world is not only the mental health stuff that I think we've shared. All of us are on some kind of mental health journey, even if it's just for clarity. It doesn't have to be overcoming trauma. But the other thing I deal with through all those accidents and all those brushes with death is chronic pain. And I know Tammy and some others have been talking about that relationship with inflammation and chronic pain and how there is hope. And so I am emboldened by your talks to say that, maybe I just need to get my gut right, and a lot of these other things will unlock.
Humans are drowning in plain sight, and our systems are letting it happen. You all are the saving grace, but I know for a fact that centralized platforms are working against you. People can't reach for the keys that are right around their neck. They don't have the keys to unlock the cages. They're coming to you to try to find them. 82% of consumers as a whole consider what you do a top priority. 30% of them can't afford it. And they're also getting bad advice or centralized advice that is steering them away from what they intuitively know can heal them. That intuition is put on pause while they step into autopilot.
The secret of beauty lies in maintaining balance and harmony within the body. So whatever is going on inside is reflected on our outside, not just in our mood, but on our skin. on our face. So the body's healing potential. We are designed to heal ourselves. We were created perfect machine. We had our checks and balances within our system. How our endocrine system is pretty much what it does. So when our body gets overwhelmed, our symptoms appear as messages.
I had a backpack of stuff I had to start unpacking. And I started unpacking that because all those experiences, they weighed stuff and they bogged me down. So I went on this healing journey and I started exploring. And what I found was through 30 years, and of course it's a journey because healing, if we all know, is not just 2 steps forward, 3 steps forward, 4 steps forward, 5 steps forward. It's literally 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And then 3 steps forward and 5 steps back. But it's going forward. And that's what's the most important thing.
77% of the people survived 5 years after diagnosis. That's the way to put it. And now 93% of people, survive 5 years.
When we're thousands of years ago, when we were being chased around by predators and we're trying to hunt, there's this mindset of scarcity. Like, I got to find food, right? I got to make sure that I'm taking care of my family as a provider, taking care of my children. That is still in us, right? But we misuse it now. We apply it to everything. Well, I need to get the latest gadget, or I need to do this, or I need to make a certain amount of money. Mentality, like we're not going to survive if we don't get these things. But it's very important to know that you are safe, right? In any given moment, you don't have predators chasing you. You don't have anything that's immediately going to hurt you. So why spend all of your time focusing on the outside world and what you need to do to survive? That's the mindset of scarcity. So instead, we need to change that to a mindset of abundance, realizing how much we have in our life that's great.
A lot of times if you feel stuck, it's not that you're unintelligent. It's not that you haven't figured it out. Because I work with really educated, successful women. But the problem is they don't know how to move forward because they don't understand that they're living off an old, outdated, antiquated belief system. And that is guiding their life. You don't necessarily have to feel stuck. It could just be you want some insight on something. Image to insight, because the pictures do give you a lot of insight, and the answers are within you, essentially.
So what is leaky brain? So in order to understand what the first part about leaky brain is understanding what something is called the blood-brain barrier, okay? And what that is, it's a network of tissue and blood vessels that are designed in such a way to let the good stuff in, like oxygen, fluid, okay, certain medications, and keep the bad substances out. I like to look at it as like a cheesecloth. Has anybody ever used a cheesecloth for various different reasons? It's permeable, right? There's little holes in there. It lets the stuff in or out that you're choosing to. But when we get to a leaky brain, just like that picture of the leaky gut with the spaces that were there, that's what happens. It's like going from a tight cheesecloth to maybe an Afghan that your grandmother may have knitted for you.